been over 3 years since Suzanne Morphew went missing back on Mother's Day in 2020. The 49-year-old mother was reported missing after she allegedly went for a bike ride and never came back home. Authorities believe that she's dead, but her remains have yet to be found. Her husband, Barry Morphew, has long been suspected in her disappearance. He was arrested. He was charged with first-degree murder back in 2021. But in April of 2022, all of the charges against him were dropped. The case was dismissed without prejudice, meaning it can still be refiled. KOAA reporter Natalie Chuck has more.
Barry and his daughters are relieved, but they're sad because they too want to know where Suzanne Morphew is.
Suzanne's husband, Barry, was arrested back in May of 2021, expecting to face a murder trial. His wife vanished on Mother's Day in 2020. Her body has never been found. The prosecution filed a motion to dismiss the case without prejudice, meaning they can charge Barry again at any moment. The judge ultimately siding with those prosecutors, a disappointing but not surprising outcome for Barry's defense attorneys, who believe there should not be any chance Barry is charged again.
The writing was on the wall as a result of the judge's absolutely very conservative findings. Honestly, the judge should have dismissed this case.
A couple of weeks before the dismissal, the judge ruled that 12 out of 14 of the prosecution's expert witnesses would not be allowed to testify. A big reason one local expert I spoke with believes the prosecution wanted to drop the charges.
Rather than proceed forward with a Hail Mary, so to speak, on trying to get a conviction for first-degree murder, they're opting to dismiss that, hoping that they will run into some more evidence.
Now the prosecution is banking on finding Suzanne's body, saying they think they have an area pinpointed, but believe she is buried under feet of snow and need more time to search.
We have to take that with a degree of skepticism. Obviously, I think if they had a bit more particulars and an isolated location of where the body was, they would indicate that and ask for a continuance rather than dismiss charges, right?
Meanwhile, Barry returns to Chaffee County, free of an ankle monitor and free of any charges.
Now, Barry Morphew has filed a $15 million civil rights lawsuit against prosecutors and members of law enforcement. He's claiming that they engaged in malicious prosecution, unlawful detention, the fabrication of evidence, conspiracy, and more. Now, in an exclusive interview with ABC News, Barry Morphew, with his daughters by his side, spoke out for the first time since filing that lawsuit, claiming that investigators had tunnel vision.
They've got tunnel vision, and they looked at one person, and they've got too much pride to say they're wrong and look somewhere else.
These charges were dropped without prejudice, which means if authorities feel like there's more evidence, they could charge you again. Do you live with fear of that?
Well, I was innocent the first time they arrested me, so I'm sure it's possible. But I don't have anything to worry about. I've done nothing wrong.
Oh, it's possible. And is the smartest thing for him to do in the meantime file a lawsuit against the government, who, by the way, remember, the government has immunity. Let me bring in my guests, see what they think about this. Dr. John Delatorre and attorney Dwayne Cates. Dwayne, got to go to you first on this one. Do you think this suit is going to go anywhere for Barry Morphew?
I think it will, partially because the prosecution left out key evidence in their presentation to the grand jury. I mean, there was DNA, that male DNA found, on several items that excluded, Barry, and so I think that gives him a, that's gross negligence, and that's what you need. They don't have immunity; they have qualified immunity, and if they can prove gross negligence, then they can go forward with their lawsuit. And you got to understand, when somebody gets arrested, your life gets burnt to the ground. I mean, they put you in handcuffs and walk you off, and there's nobody at home to feed the dogs, pay the bills. I mean, it burns your life to the ground, and that's what happened to him.
So you're saying you think the basis of this could hinge on what was presented to the grand jury?
Well, part of it, I mean, when you leave out exculpatory evidence, and they left it out on purpose, they had the evidence and they chose not to present it to the grand jury.
At the time of the grand jury is what you're saying.
Right, because it was going to make it hard for them to indict him. If there's DNA evidence that there's another male present, at the scene, then that's going to put some doubt in the grand jury's mind, and so they didn't want to. They wanted to have the best chance they could to win a grand jury, and there's no defense attorneys in a grand jury cross-examining people, and so they get to put on whatever they want, but we get to look at it later and challenge it, and that's kind of what they did.
Which is why they wouldn't have to put on everything, because it's just the probable cause standard. It's like an indictment when police charge doesn't have to be the whole trial. Okay,
you can't leave out exculpatory evidence.
Do you know for a fact they had it at the time? Because I don't. I can't say for a certainty that I know that as part of
That's what I read, was that they did have it at the time.
Okay. So, I don't know if we've reported. I want to look into that. That's a fair point. Dr. John, let me go to you on this one, please, before we run out of time. Watching Barry Morphew in that interview, what did you think? What did you pick up on, if anything, as he was talking with his daughters there to ABC?
He's committed, right? He's certainly committed to the statements that he's making. Now, I don't know that I necessarily believe him. I can't quite put on, or I can't really express why. When I experience him as trying way too hard to make me believe him. And I don't know why. I mean, I kind of get what he's saying. When a wife has gone missing or ends up dead, yeah, you absolutely look at the husband. But I just feel like he's trying so hard to get me to believe him that part of me just kind of doesn't. So that's kind of what I'm reading when I saw that clip of him.
Right. It's, he shook his head when he said, "I'm innocent." He said, "Well, I'm innocent," but there was a head shake there. I'm not a body language expert, but all I can think about whenever I see this guy is that clip that really went viral where he's saying, was it a mountain lion? Did a mountain lion get her? I mean, so early on in the investigation, I think he better watch himself, because they just might refile. Do I have any more time here? I think I might have a little time to play a clip. We have something from Suzanne Morphew's brother, Andy Mormon, talking about her being missing, and then also eliminating Barry, his brother-in-law, as a suspect. Let's play those clips now.
On Mother's Day, they called me and said she'd gone for a bicycle ride and didn't return. I flew out the next morning, and they had found her bicycle, but no Suzanne. I would love it if Barry got eliminated out of this. That would make me feel great. That in itself would be success. Of course, I want to find my sister and bring closure to my family, but I certainly don't want this to be Barry.
Yeah, of course not. Dr. John, would you speak to that? That's got to be really, really tough for someone like Andy Mormon, whose sister's still missing, no closure. Is she alive? She's legally presumed to be dead, and he's hoping it's not his brother-in-law.
Yeah, his world is already shattered because his sister has gone missing. It would be completely destroyed if he found out that his sister's husband, and he didn't do anything to protect her as her brother. That would be completely devastating of a worldview for him to acknowledge.